Hello, my friend. I am Gina Zwig with Positive Life Dog Training, and you are watching my weekly video vlog. And guess who's here with me? I'm going to move this. There he is. It's Rory, live. Hey, my buddy. Oh, he's been sleepy. He was taking a nap on the patio, and he will probably make another appearance. But I wanted you to see him while he happened to be right next to me. Yes, you gotta have him in there. There we go. I don't know how long he'll stay, but anyway, so now my head is cut off. Okay, you got a little bit of both of us. So anyway, thanks for watching. Today we are going to talk again a little bit about leash walking. Today I'm just going to give you 5 quick, easy tips to help things get going in the right direction. Some of us are or have struggled with leash walking. Maybe your dog is pulling on leash. Maybe it's just not super enjoyable for either or both of you. We are going to talk about some of those things just quickly, 5 quick tips. If you need a little help in the area of leash walking, these tips might get you just going in the right direction. They are not a step-by-step blueprint to make your leash walks perfect, but I think they can help you a little bit. Like I said, get going in the right direction. So the first thing is if your dog is getting all of their exercise from your walk and there's just so much energy there, a little too much, that maybe if you took 5 or 10 minutes before you got started on your walk to just tire your dog out a little bit, there are a number of things you can do. Just play, toss a ball in the yard, play fetch or tug. He's checking out the flowers. He's a better gardener than I am. Um, you can play. I have this. If only I could demo it for you. This is a flirt pole. I don't know if you're familiar with it. Normally, where's your toy? Oh, bring it here. Bring it here. Okay, normally, this little toy is attached to it and it's got a long string. Just shoot that off. Any ideas, Rory? Hmm. He likes the little toy that goes at the end of it. Hey, buddy. You can have it. Um, it's crinkly and squeaky. So this is kind of a telescoping pole, if you're not familiar with it. And you just kind of whirl it around on the ground so your dog can chase the little toy at the end, let him get it every now and then. I did a demo with this. I'll put a link to it, just how you do it. It's really a super simple, fun activity you can do with your dog, but it gets them really running and burns off some steam real quick. If you did that for a few minutes before you went out on your walk, it would take that energy level down just a little bit, and that might help. Still, if you could see, still wanting to chew on that string. My next tip is for a piece of equipment. So I have to just say that no piece of equipment by itself is intended to address the issue all by itself of pulling. You need to add some training in there too. But in conjunction with training, sometimes it can really offer some relief, give the walker a little bit more control and therefore confidence, and just help you feel like you're moving in the right direction. I have. This is one of my favorites. There are a number of, this is a no pull harness or anti-pull. And so this goes over his little head. This is the chest strap. These go under his belly. So you can see how these are all, every section is adjustable, which is really nice. So you can easily get the right fit. And then you can attach. So for Rory, thankfully, we've kind of started training from the beginning. So he's not pulling me all over the place. But I have had a dog that did that. And so, hi, buddy. It's your harness. We're not putting it on right now. So this is the rear clip, and this is you clip it to their chest. And so when you clip it onto the front for your pullers, when they pull ahead, you just gently pull them off to the side. So it gets them a little bit off course. And so it's a deterrent. It doesn't probably stop it entirely, but it really can offer some help. I've seen some good results, just like I said, bringing a little bit of relief for the real strong pulling while you're working on training. And it really takes the pressure off of your dog's trachea, which is always a good thing. We like to add, if you could avoid the prong collars, pinch collars, or choke collars, and retractable leashes. Um, it doesn't feel very good on your dog, and there's just always that little bit of pressure. And so we want to teach our dogs that the best thing is to not have any pulling and not have any pressure. And retractable leashes, when there's always tension on it, so they never have that feeling of walking on a loose leash. So I have used them too, and they do have their benefits, but in my opinion, overall, it can tend to make the problem worse if your dog is already pulling. So, oh, I didn't bring the regular leash out here. Try just like a 6 foot leash and a regular flat collar if they're really pulling. Try a no pull harness. This is, like I said, the balance harness. There's also one called, there are a number of them, but another one that I really like is called Freedom Harness. Very, very nice. It has also the loops, the rings on the front and the back. And for either of these, you can attach a leash both to the front and the back to give you a little extra control, which might seem like overkill, but that can really help to get you over that hump. Tip number 3 is to use high value treats, high value rewards when you're out on a walk to encourage your dog to walk at your side. Now, you're not luring your dog with the food, but when he is walking nicely, comes back to you for those moments that things are going well, you want to reward him for what you want, and then you will see more of that. This is one that I use a variety of treats. So this one is pretty high value. It is just recently started using this primal nuggets. It is, they say you can actually just these big chunks, but they're really breakable. Show you. Rory, hey buddy, hey buddy. I'm gonna reward him for coming. He did come really, he's right here. He likes it. Um, you can just break off a little piece like that. They're a little bit crumbly, but they do really work well out on walks, and dogs love them. I was saying you can put them in a bowl, and this is what they recommend, primal nuggets, and then you can add water, but I just use them for treats, for rewards when I'm training, and they work great. All the dogs that I've used them with so far are loving them, which means they are motivated. Just one quick extra tip in here, it's not one of the 5, is that when you're walking, while you're working on this, try to change your speed and direction fairly often. It kind of keeps your dog thinking, well, I better pay attention to her, or pay attention to him because I never know what he's going to do. Sometimes you're going fast or slow. You want to quickly change direction and give a cue that says that you're moving and they need to follow you. So like this way or let's go. And it just kind of keeps them guessing, keeps them on their toes and focused on you, which is always a good thing. Tip number 4 is to always reward your dog when they just automatically check in with you when you're out on a walk. Like, say they are walking ahead and then they decide to just look back at you. That's what that means, the auto check in. They just look at you. Well, I always reward that. I always give a nice treat for that when they just offer that when you haven't asked. And so you will just tend to see more of that if you reward it. That focus is something that we want. If their focus is more on you, you're going to just naturally have less pulling because they're not going to be pulling ahead to all of these other interesting things out in the environment. My 5th and last tip is that if your dog has a history of pulling on your usual route, probably your neighborhood, consider at least temporarily just switching your location for your walks. You could just go, and this is, I almost forgot about this. A great tip, I think, as part of this switching your locations is to do more of like a sniffy walk or a decompression walk on a long lead. Ours is disgusting right now because we had a nice fun walk this morning. It's all full of grass. We had an adventure. And so this is a 15-foot long lead. You can take it out on a trail or even in this maybe another neighborhood and let him sniff around, and where you're not asking him to necessarily walk next to you, but you don't want the leash to be tight and for your dog to be ignoring you, but it can just give like a break, like a different type of walk to give both of you a break and just even the change of scenery. Another thing you can do is just switch up the location that can really help when you're practicing on loose leash walking, on just having more relaxing, better walks, is to practice in a vacant parking lot. So around here, there are a lot of big churches with big parking lots. So during the week, they're typically vacant. And so we will go out and practice on in one of these parking lots. You can kind of use the parking lot lines to help you practice, switch your directions or say, oh, I'm going to reward him every third line or whatever. It's a nice way to just help your dog succeed. It's not typically as distracting as your usual route. It's just a different area with typically less going on. So it's worth a try. And you both might benefit just from that little change of scenery. I hope you found these tips helpful. I am including a link to a free PDF resource with the 5 tips and a little bit more information about dogs pulling on leash and helping them to do better. It looks like this. So that link will be in the description. You want to get down, buddy? It's getting hot out here. The link to the PDF will be in the description. If you scroll down below the YouTube video, please click subscribe if you are watching this so you don't miss a thing. And thank you so much for watching. Have a great week, and I hope to see you back here next week. My name is Gina Zwig. I'm a professional dog trainer and owner at Positive Life Dog Training. It is my joy and passion to share with you the wonders of positive reinforcement training and to promote the positive treatment of the most amazing creatures on the planet, our beloved dogs. In my video blog, I share dog training tips, recommendations, lots of free resources, and training demos, all to help you and your dog live your most positive lives together. If you're a dog parent or caregiver, and like me, you also like the idea of making our dogs' lives continually better, then you're in the right place, my friend. Be sure to click the subscribe button so you don't miss a thing. And thanks so much for watching, my friend. Be sure to scroll down in the description to grab any links to resources I've included in this post. I hope to see you next week.